I'm Jeanette Keynes from Jewelry Arts Inc. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to prepare my favorite ingot mold so you can pour metal in it and get it out. So look at this, we have a shiny new ingot mold. I don't even remember when my ingot mold looked like this. Now, this is a small ingot mold, which I recommend you get. You can get these on the website if you want. Because what a really common problem is people get a really big, thick one, right? They're like, and then if you're one person with one torch, it's really hard to get your metal hot enough and to heat this up enough so that you can get a good pour by yourself. If you're in a studio with a couple people and you can ask a friend to like stick another torch on there, then that's great. But I generally recommend these small ones. And also I always feel like who are you kidding? Are you really pouring like 10 ounces worth of material and milling it at a time? I mean, if you are, then yes, get a bigger one. These are 80 penny weights, which is like 4 ounces max. Because I mean, normally for us, it's like, I don't know, when are we ever pouring more than maybe 2 ounces at a time? So at any rate, this is the one that I like to use. And because it's shiny and new, we have to do something to make it kind of non-stick, you know? So you can treat it a little bit like a cast iron skillet if you want. Like you can, cover it in oil and put it in your stove, go at like 300 degrees, like that kind of a thing. What we always did in the studio was we used like the 3-in-1 machine oil. We would put it on there and we would heat it until it smokes. The problem in this particular studio is that right over there we have a fire alarm that whenever anything smokes in here, it goes off at a unbelievably mind-blowing decibel level that will give everyone seizures. So another method that you can use is you can actually use a candle and basically make soot. And soot is very, very slippery. And if you think about it, really, when you heat up the oil, like what are you doing? You're making soot. So we thought we'd kind of cut out the middleman and not set off our fire alarm. And I'm just gonna take a candle and I'm gonna hold it on here and I'm gonna get some nice slippery soot in there. We're gonna do it on the entrance right here and everything. And then I guess we'll just, we'll kind of see, because it's been so long since I've had a brand new one that I'm like, did I do it like every time I did it for the first few ounces? I don't know, we'll just see. But basically, you need something on there to help it release and be nice and slippery. So, and thumbs up to Donna for bringing a candle in for us, because we were like, wait, a candle. Do we have a candle?
I'm ready to perform exorcisms at a drop of a hat.
I love someone who is ready to perform an exorcism, because God knows.
We need them.
Let's see. Can I still use a match?
Do we need to turn off the fan, perhaps?
But that
It's not,
would not be expert mode. I can do it, I can do it.
It's like a stick of dynamite.
You see how that gets that little soot? You see the little soot happening there? Oh, right when you went to do a close-up. Operator error.
You got too close.
I know, right? It's not like I can't, I could use the torch, to light it. Motherfucker.
Wow.
I mean, oh golly. Oops.
I'm telling you that fan.
Okay, let's try to do you see what I mean? You get that nice soot going there. Try not to burn your fingers, which I am trying not to do. You will get a little bit of drippage on the table, but you see what I mean? How I'm getting that soot in there? Sooty goodness. I also really want something in the joints, so to speak. You know what I mean? So that it wants to come out of there. I will clean the wax off, because clearly I am not doing a super tidy job.
That's not the point.
But okay, so let's take a look. You see what I mean? I'm just getting that nice soot. And I can probably also take my finger and kind of spread it around. But I'm going to try to get more like in the actual seam there. sooty goodness. See what I mean? I'll put some on here as well. And then I think I'm just going to take my finger and kind of spread it around a little bit. And you know, basically like a cast iron skillet, the more that you use your ingot mold, the better it gets. Just of course why I'm always like, no, you can use mine, it's fine. Okay, I think that should be good. Like I said, I always used oil, but I think in a lot of ways this makes a lot more sense, because one thing though, you didn't notice our fire alarm going off, although this is smoking a little bit, so we're gonna like...
Put your fingers in, pinch it. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I think that should do. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put this together. Now, normally for us, I don't usually pour increments larger than 1 ounce, because the bigger the pour that you do, the harder it is to go through the mill. So unless I have a specific reason, like I'm like, okay, I want to make a cuff bracelet and I need 1 piece of sheet that's, you know, really big, normally I just do 1 ounces at a time. 1 ounce at a time. Now for this particular mold, if you set the opening to around 11 or 12 millimeters, that's the perfect size to pour your ounce. So let me show you what that means. We'll scrape a little of that wax off of there.
Do you need a ruler?
No, I got it. So I could get a ruler out and be like OCD, but I think about like that. You could get your ruler out and measure the opening. I'll get a ruler and just lay it up against there so you can see what I'm doing. But basically from using this particular one for years and years, I figured out the exact right size for 1 ounce. Because an ideal pour has a little bit of a button on top. You get the best pour that way. So let me just grab the ruler and we'll see how good my eye guesstimation is. Oh, I got wax all over the place. Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna open that just a little more, about 11 millimeters. Now this is not the kind of thing that like, oh no, it's a hair bigger than that, like, you know, the world will end. But that's what really gives you a really ideal pour, is that nice, small amount with just a little button on top. You get the best structure. Okay, so then we're gonna put this on here nice and tight. And then I usually set this up at a little bit of a tilt. I feel like it goes in there a little easier. And then we'll get everything else ready to go and we'll start pouring some gold. And then I take the amount that I carefully laid out and I hit it with my hand.
Of course.
I'm glad I always do it on video so people can see that like this is just what jewelry making is like. Here we go. Okay, nice and tight. And I'm gonna make a little fort over here, you know, so it can be tilted a little bit, and then we'll reconvene and I'll show you what I've done, okay?